Yeah, okay. New player circle. So,
Hey man, say man, you already know what I'm gonna say, man. It's your local neighborhood player, Drip Damone Jr. kicking in the Player Circle podcast. Well, we don't try to fit a square into a circle. And hey man, today man, it's been one of a day, man. Wouldn't you say, man? The boy Big U, you feel me? Bricc Baby, Luce Cannon, man, they caught up right now, man. It's going down. They done raided the boy Big U house on suspicion of moita. Clear cut case of moita. Extortion and all types of fuckery. They come mash up the island. You come to LA, they mashing up. Look, it's a lot of speculation. The indictments then drops. The indictments is getting broke down, and they saying a lot, man. AB caught up in the indictment. You feel me? He was setting up NBA players, and Big U was going to get the money back. It's a lot going on. I seen 600 spoke. I'm talking too much. I gotta slow down because I'm excited. It's a lot going on. You feel me? So we gonna get to it all though. We gonna buzz down. You already know what's going on, man. You already know what to do, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get to the videos. You feel me? So, man, hold on. That was crazy. Operation Drawdown, man. Look, they got about 18 gang members, you know what I'm saying, of the Rollin 60 Crip organization, you know what I'm saying. They got Big U. Most notable names on here is Big U, No Jumper employee, Bricc Baby, former No Jumper employee, former ex-exposure with Whack 100 employee, Luce Cannon. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I just said the other day, I don't know how bro ain't in jail. He a felon and he pistol whipped a senior citizen. But I guess they was just waiting on the moment to, you feel me? So yeah, man, they got this indictment, then hit the streets, man. They talking, they raided his crib. We gonna get to that. Let's get to that right now. Authorities plan to announce the arrest court filings Wednesday morning related to longtime leader of a street gang in South Los Angeles. They raided the crib.
The acting United States Attorney here in Los Angeles. Today, we're here to announce federal criminal charges against Eugene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U, who used his contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, and a youth charity to further his own criminal enterprise. An enterprise that engaged in murder, extortion, robbery, human trafficking.
In his defense, y'all knew that when y'all start giving them the damn money. Let's start there. Y'all knew that when y'all start giving them the money. Let's start there. Let's just start there. Y'all knew that when y'all start giving them the money, but we digress. Let's go.
COVID fraud and other felonies. Mr. Henley and several other individuals linked to him and his criminal enterprise were charged in a criminal complaint with federal racketeering conspiracy. Mr. Henley is a fugitive, and he is currently wanted by federal law enforcement. Other individuals linked to his criminal enterprise were arrested today, approximately 10 defendants who are charged in various indictments. Again, Mr. Henley is a fugitive. 4 defendants are in state custody and will be transferred into federal custody. And we're still seeking Mr. Henley and another fugitive. The Department of Justice's top priority is eliminating violent crime caused by criminal street gangs and organized crime. These organizations cause a tremendous amount of harm in our communities. And today's arrests are part of our office's efforts, FBI, IRS, LAPD, the team you see up here, to make our community safer and rid our streets of these criminal street gangs, including ones operated by violent felons like Mr. Henley.
Violent felons.
Posing as savvy businessmen and community leaders, but in the end are violent criminals. The affidavit filed with the criminal complaint alleges that Mr. Henley operated Big U Enterprises, a mafia-like organization that utilized Mr. Henley's stature and long-standing association with the Crips criminal street gang, and other gangs here in Los Angeles to intimidate businesses and individuals in our communities. I want to stress that the allegations here in the complaint are allegations only, and the defendants are presumed innocent until proven otherwise. Let me talk a little bit about Mr. Henley and the street gang here. As I said, Mr. Henley is a widely known leader within the Rollin 60s. He rose to prominence in that gang decades ago, and he has since been a fixture on the internet, talk shows, and podcasts, all things that law enforcement has looked at closely as part of this investigation. He has maintained
All things that law enforcement have looked at closely during this investigation. It's amazing how much information that's in this indictment that I heard straight from Wat Run Hunted's fucking mouth here on YouTube. I heard about the robbery, about the dispensaries. Heard about that on YouTube. It's crazy. It's insane. The robbery, Luce Cannon talked about that. We heard about that on YouTube. They get on these podcasts and they get the talking for the clicks and the likes and the. It's crazy. It really is. It's insane, bro. They'll throw their life away. And look, they'll come get you. They'll let you get away with it for a minute. But they coming to get you nonetheless. They coming to get that ass.
Of an entertainment
No
industry
Diddy.
entrepreneur.
Hold the baby oil.
And of somebody who gives back to the community here in Los Angeles, funding a South LA-based charity, developing options, which purports to help at youth risk escape gang life and escape the perils of gangs in high crime areas. The facts alleged in the complaint paint a very different picture. It is one of a murderer, a thief, a liar, and a cheat, and the criminals that enabled him. For example, Mr. Henley engaged in a murder of a musician signed to his label in 2021 and dumped the victim's body in Las Vegas off of the I-5.
We gonna get to that.
He then attempted to evade
Right after this,
obstruct
we gonna get to
investigation
that.
into the murder, including ordering witnesses not to speak with law enforcement. Henley's criminal enterprise also engaged in other crimes, including transporting prostitutes across state lines, extorting strip clubs, marijuana dispensaries, and other businesses, and fraudulently applying for COVID loans in the form of a business relief loan. On that application, Mr. Henley falsely stated that his music label, Unique Music, operated at a $200,000 profit in 2019 and was entitled to government assistance, despite the reality that the company had operated at a loss and was ineligible for such relief. Finally, Mr. Henley is accused of embezzling donations made by celebrities, professional athletes, and businesses to his charity, Developing Options, which, as I said, purports to give South LA at-risk youth alternative to gang violence, drugs, and other criminal activity. Henley used this charity as a front. He used it to conceal his fraudulent activities, his criminal enterprises activities, and evade detection from law enforcement. If convicted on the racketeering conspiracy, he and his co-conspirators face approximately a 20-year federal prison sentence.
Damn. So look, let's get to the murder for a second. The clear-cut case of murder. Hold on.
Pretty disturbing news, man. And I remember a couple days ago when I mentioned that case where the kid, the football player, Big U's son's best friend played on the football team who was living with Big U was killed. And it was saying that Big U didn't show up to the funeral, never contacted the mother for any type of support, anything. Just blocked her and everything, right? It was just like, damn, bro, like you always say if you know anything about these gang murders to give you the information. But when the football player is the best friend of your son who was living with you turns up dead, you don't want nothing to do with nothing, right? So the news came out today, this morning. The mother said that Big U has been denying to give his DNA. So they had to send a warrant to get Big U's DNA. You want to take a wild guess whose DNA came back on his son? Big U, Eugene Henley's DNA, came back on her son's fingernails.
Damn.
Let's talk about the details in this paperwork, starting with the Las Vegas killer. Meet Rayshawn Williams. He was a wide receiver for Crenshaw High. He lived with Big U because he was the best friend to Big U's son, who now played for the Chargers. 5 days before his demise in January of 2021, Rayshawn Williams recorded a diss song. In his affidavit, the agent said he believed that Williams' diss song was about Big U, whose independent record label, Unique Music, was representing the 21-year-old rapper. Now, it's unclear whether Big U heard diss lyrics prior to the killing, according to the complaint. In the diss song, Williams referred to Big U as the, quote, bro that makes some money, end quote. Now, Williams rapped himself that he might get himself shot in the face for thinking shit funny. He mentioned a .38 revolver with no trace. Now, 5 days later after that diss song, Las Vegas police found Williams' body in a ditch near a landfill on January 25th, 2021. May he rest in
Man, R.I.P. That's cold, bro. That's cold. That's cold. R.I.P. man.
peace and love and condolences to his family. He'd been shot in the face with a revolver that left no shell casings. According to the affidavit, Unique Music paid to fly Williams from California to Las Vegas in January 2021 and put him up in an Airbnb. His family said Big U had...
Mind you, this the same money he got killed. They flew him up there. He ain't out there with nobody. He ended up dead out there.
coached the young rapper in football since he was young. Williams was supposed to spend a week at the recording studio and record a song a day, but he missed some days. When Williams didn't show up to the studio on January 23rd, 2021, investigators said Big U and Robinson drove from LA to Las Vegas to confront him. A friend of Williams, identified only as C8, recounted that Big U arrived at the Airbnb around 2 a.m. on January 24th, 2021. Big U asked why Williams hadn't shown up to the studio. C8 told the authorities Williams claimed he didn't have a ride. Quote, I believe Williams wasting the time, thereby disparring Big U name and the Big U Enterprise reputation, and potentially flaunting that disrespect with the lyrics of the diss song led to a dispute, according to the feds. But nonetheless, they headed to the studio. Big U arrived at the studio about 7 p.m. Williams arrived a couple hours after and recorded until midnight. Witnesses told authorities about 12:30 a.m. Big U left the studio. The dark gray Lexus that he and Robinson had driven to the studio was no longer there. According to the feds, shortly before 1 a.m., Big U phone stopped reporting locations data. It didn't start again until about 2:15 a.m. Surveillance footage at the Airbnb where Williams was staying captured a dark gray and silver sedan, arriving about 1:13 a.m. According to the complaint, Williams got out of the passenger side of the car, went inside, and returned a few minutes later with a suitcase. Despite the fact that the Airbnb was rented for another day and he was not set to leave on a flight until the following day. Around 3 a.m., a witness said Big U returned to the studio alone. The witness said Big U appeared to be drenched in either sweat or water. Now at this point you figure Big U know exactly who this witness is, because according to the feds, Big
Man, this seemed like a movie. This don't even seem real. This is crazy what we talking about right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. This insane.
You told the witness he was coming back from the gym, according to the complaint. Hours later, on January 25th, 2021, at around 9 a.m., Williams' body was found in a ditch. He had died of multiple gunshot wounds. He was shot in the face. Authorities compared DNA collected from Williams' body to Big U's DNA profile. The result was inconclusive, but Big U, quote, could not be excluded, end quote, as a suspect, according to the complaint. Also documented in the complaint following the homicide, Big U allegedly arranged for recording equipment from the studio to be removed and surveillance video to be destroyed. The feds wrote that they believed the footage would have shown an altercation between Big U and Williams the night of the killing, and at minimum, Big U and Williams leaving the studio together shortly before Williams' murder. A month after Williams' death, the FBI LA Metropolitan Task Force on Violent Gangs launched an investigation into Big U Enterprise and its association with the Rollin 60s. Now in this indictment, it also pointed out that Big U is considered an original gangster, an OG. Big U is an admitted member and original gangster, or OG, of the Rollin 60s, and someone who, quote, widely regarded as a leader, end quote, within the game. Now this is where they do the check-ins. But before we do that, listen to what Big U have to say in regards to what checking in means. Check it out.
The youngsters get out and then they have to have an experience before they realize I should have checked in. You know what I mean? Or I should have called, or I should have been moving a certain way. And so they get out, and they might be under your banner, but then they not respecting the banner. They ain't calling you. They got your number. They know who you is, but they feel like they bigger than the program. You know, and you got a lot of dudes, like when I was here last time, that claim my neighborhood that's in this music shit, but they don't really fuck with us until it's a problem. Then they call them. Like Quando Rondo. I just showed Envy. Like, you can't call me now. You can't call me when the fire hot. You didn't fuck with me before that. You know what I mean? You had my number. You could have called me. You could have did all that. You know what I mean? But he you know, he was around about. But how is that fair to me?
So now you know how Big U feel. In 2022, according to the feds, they interviewed cooperating witness 1, who claimed that rap artists, athletes, and other visitors needed to pay Big U a fee when they came to the city. CW1 told authorities about a large buy-in dice game in LA in June 2019. The game involved a professional boxer, identified only as AB, AB's associates, and several prominent NBA players. According to CW1, AB and his associates fixed the game, cheating the NBA players out of millions of dollars using teased dice. After the game, according to the feds, Big U directed his associates to rough up AB, who had not checked in with Big U, and to get the money back from him on behalf of the cheated NBA players. Multiple members of the Rollin 60s.
That's crazy. Got roughed up. Got roughed up.
Allegedly arrived and were used to press AB. Big U stepped in. CW1 told authorities, quote, because he was involved in and/or would approve of any dice games or similar events, such as parties involving large sums of money and prominent NBA players and celebrities, end quote, in the city. According to the complaint, CW1 knew other times in which NBA players or celebrities would need to get approval in advance from Big U to ensure their safeties at events such as parties, games, or advertising shoots. CW1 said the celebrities would have to pay Big U for protection and approval or face retaliation from Big U Enterprise. In a monitor meeting between Big U and someone identified only as Victim 1, Big U recounted that he got into it with AB after AB cheated a current NBA All-Star out of $1.5 million and a former NBA All-Star out of $5 million. Big U also talked about charging the players $100,000 to get their money back. In a podcast Big U hosted called Checking In that was on World Star Hip Hop, he said every city he goes to, he quote, I check in with somebody, end quote, but he has denied charging fees for those coming to LA, quote, I never made no athlete, no rapper give me nothing, end quote. Big U said in the interview with Genius, a digital media company, they reach out to me because they feel a connection to me and my neighborhood for whatever that reason. Now the next segment in this complaint will be titled How to Rob Yourself. The complaint laid out various
I literally covered a video. We're gonna go to that too, where Whack 100 talk about this robbery, this play right here, for sure.
This robbery allegedly carried by Big U, including one at an unlicensed marijuana dispensary in LA on June 5th, 2021. In that case, the victim told authorities he'd been paying Enterprise up to $25,000 per month in extortion fees. After he stopped paying, he said nearly a dozen of Big U Enterprise members and associates, along with Rollin 60 members, rushed into the dispensary with firearms. They were not wearing masks to obscure their identities. They allegedly stole cash and marijuana from the store before fleeing. That same day, Big U allegedly invited the victim to his home, where he laid out what had been stolen from the dispensary. Quote, that's how you rob yourself, end quote, Big U allegedly had said.
Basically, it's like, cause he'll be like, he'll manipulate things. Like, we'll go and do something, and the same niggas we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later when we trying to, you know, counting everything, right? And we be like, how the fuck they get the, oh, well, we're gonna just give them like $40,000 back and stuff like that. But cause it's actually putting us in paperwork, right? And like doing like real police shit. I seen the nigga get like 20 guns, and when he got 20 guns, he's selling them to the homies. But I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers? So it's like, he was doing like shit like that, and I didn't catch on. So it was like, I'm waking up now. You get what I'm saying? Because
I'm high tech shit.
I'm his right hand man. You get what I'm saying? So when it came down to like dirt and stuff like that, I'm gonna get it. You get what I'm saying? And then like One
So
day,
you know why he wanted to get a dude back to 40, right?
so basically, it's like
So this is the robbery of the dispensary. They talk about it on No Jumper. Same robbery we just talked about on Shout Out to the Family on the Family platform. He just talked about it. The robbery. That's how you rob yourself. It's insane, diabolical work, I tell you.
The feds wrote throughout their investigation, the FBI obtained recordings of Big U Enterprise members and associates discussing robberies that they were doing or planned to do. In one case, the feds say that he heard Big U on a wiretap planning a robbery of people who had stolen equipment from a celebrity rapper using the Apple AirTag that was with the equipment. Big U, Mitchell, and others got guns and began their stage of robbery. They called
Man, this is crazy.
it off after spotting police arrived at the location.
It's a lot to digest, a lot to break down, man. Today was breaking news. I had so much more I wanted to cover tonight, but we just took up an hour on the whole Big U situation, man. So y'all already know what to do, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll be back with another one when we got another one. And man,
Yeah, okay. New player circle. So, get low. Yeah.